Well, Jack Welch says that we are poised to go to the moon. The economy is firing on all cylinders and we're going up. New bull market. Folks, this is Bag of Dawn, stockmarketcaddy.com. March 13th at about 9:25 a.m. And I wanted to show you what we are watching, what we are looking at, what we are paying attention to, what we are listening to. It's a perfect example of how and why we came to build what we did, which is Stock Market Caddy and a series of proprietary indicators so that we don't have to listen to the Contrarian News Bubble channel and all the bubble heads that come on and tell you to buy, buy, buy. Same thing every day, every day, every day. What are we seeing? By the way, we've added, after 6 months of developing this indicator, we have added finally what we call the weather to the slope rating into the wind direction. This took us couple of months to write, 6 months to back test, forward test, and to work in a complementary way to our strategy called the shark. So if you're seeing it in one additional column, it's just further confirmation. When we get our signals, many of these signals in their own right are solid, but when they're in unison, it's a beautiful thing. What are we seeing? This is a weekly view of the markets, a weekly view, and we see all of the markets still in a long mode. What is of interest to us is the weekly VIX is in a flat mode, picking up a tailwind. This is a contrarian indicator. It had been in a short mode for weeks and weeks. If this goes into a long mode on the weekly basis, a long mode, courtesy of this tailwind, in all likelihood it would indicate that put protection is being purchased and the market could start a pullback. So we're keeping an eye on the weekly close, what happens today, tomorrow with this volatility indicator. The other one that has our attention, albeit all green right now, all green. So if you're in, you're fine. We wouldn't be initiating. There's no opportunity here to be initiating a position in the indices. But we're looking at this little sector, this little group right over here, what we call the OB cell. This is a hint that on a weekly basis, namely the Russell and the S&P are coming in. And so looking at, we had some other indicators over on the side. And then I want to drop down and take a further look. These are the bonds, and you can see the bonds are also all long. These are relatively newly long, down a little bit this morning. So we can't really stay, we don't believe, in this position. We don't think we can continue to have bonds going up as rates go down and the market continuing going high. So someone needs to win out here. The other comparison that we're correlation, if you will, that we're looking at is, of course, gold. Gold, we've been taking long signals on the hourlies, on the dailies, going back now weeks ago, and now the weekly is just confirming a long entry on gold. The weather, we got a siren to all clear on the gold. They're coming back into play is what that means. Siren. There had been storm clouds on the Gulf market, on the gold market, and they're clearing. And copper, meantime, continues to be in a bad state. Dr. Copper in a short mode. So we still think where things are going to resolve to the downside in a pullback minimum, in a pullback, possibly the correction, but we'll see. On a weekly basis, this is what we have right now. We think today, tomorrow will be some important time frames. The contracts are rolling over. The futures contracts are rolling out, and the reality of it is that the March contract will be rolling over to the June contract, and there probably won't be any significant bear attack until these contracts are the March contract has been squeezed out, which is what we think we've experienced. It happens at the tail end of a run. Good luck. Be careful.